Have you ever felt it? That quiet hum beneath the surface, a persistent whisper in the background of your busiest days, or perhaps a sudden, overwhelming wave that crashes without warning. It's a feeling many of us know intimately, yet rarely truly understand. It's anxiety. But what if everything you thought you knew about your anxiety was, in some fundamental way, incomplete? What if the very thing you've been fighting, the very sensation you've labeled as a flaw, a weakness, or a problem to be eradicated, is actually a profound, intricate, and deeply intelligent part of you, trying to communicate something vital? Most people never realize the quiet truth about their inner struggles. They see the outward manifestations, the avoidance, the overthinking, the restless nights, the difficulty connecting, and they immediately jump to conclusions. They might tell you to just relax, to stop worrying so much, or to be more positive. And while these intentions might be kind, they often miss the entire point. They fail to see the deeper, almost philosophical meaning behind what you're experiencing. In this video, we're not going to offer quick fixes or superficial platitudes. Instead, we're going to dive deep, exploring the psychology of anxiety not as a malfunction, but as a complex, often misunderstood, survival strategy. We'll embark on a journey to reframe your relationship with this powerful inner force, transforming it from an adversary into an unexpected ally. Perhaps you recognize yourself in these descriptions. You avoid the phone call that feels too demanding, even from a friend. You struggle to feel genuine joy in moments that should be happy, a subtle numbness dulling the edges of your experience. You find yourself overthinking every social interaction, replaying conversations, dissecting tones, searching for hidden meanings. You might withdraw into solitude, not because you dislike people, but because the sheer effort of navigating social dynamics feels like an exhausting performance. You might feel a constant, low-level dread, an anticipation of something bad, even when all external indicators suggest safety. Your heart might race inexplicably, your breath might quicken, your palms might sweat, all without a clear, present danger. You carry a hidden exhaustion, a weariness that sleep doesn't fully resolve, because your internal alarm system is perpetually on high alert. This isn't just about feeling stressed, it's about a deeper, more pervasive sense of unease that colors your perception of the world. You might feel unseen in your struggle, as if others can't possibly grasp the internal landscape you navigate daily. They see your quietness as shyness, your caution as pessimism, your need for space as aloofness. But beneath the surface, you're engaged in a constant, silent battle, a relentless effort to manage an internal state that feels both overwhelming and deeply personal. This is the surface problem, the visible tip of an iceberg, whose true mass lies hidden beneath the waters of your conscious awareness. And it's precisely this hidden depth that holds the key to understanding, and ultimately, transforming your experience. Now, let's pivot sharply, because here's where the real insight begins. What if this behavior, this internal state you've labeled as a problem, is not a flaw in your design, but an advanced defense mechanism? What if your anxiety, in its purest, most primal form, is a highly sophisticated survival strategy, meticulously crafted by your past experiences to keep you safe? Think of it this way. Your anxiety is not a broken system. It's an ancient alarm system, finely tuned and incredibly sensitive, developed over years, perhaps even generations, to detect potential threats. It's a vigilant sentinel, always on watch, always scanning the horizon for danger. Because at some point, that vigilance was absolutely necessary for your survival. Trace this adult pattern back with me. Consider your childhood emotional environment. Were you in a situation where emotional expression was met with invalidation, criticism, or even punishment? Perhaps you learned that it was safer to suppress your true feelings, to anticipate the reactions of others, to become hyper-vigilant to subtle cues in your environment. Maybe you grew up in a household where the future was uncertain, where stability felt precarious, and your young mind adapted by constantly forecasting potential problems, trying to control the uncontrollable. This isn't about blaming. It's about understanding the conditional experiences that shaped your inner world. Your nervous system learned to associate certain situations, certain emotions, certain types of interactions, with a need for heightened alertness. This is where concepts like attachment theory come into play, showing how early relationships can hardwire our responses to perceived threats, leading to anxious attachment styles where constant reassurance or vigilance becomes a coping mechanism. Or perhaps these patterns are inherited, a whisper from your ancestors. Intergenerational trauma isn't just a concept, it's a lived reality for many, where the unresolved anxieties and survival strategies of previous generations can subtly influence your own predispositions. You might carry a sensitivity, a readiness to perceive danger, that was once essential for your family's survival in a very different world. Then there's the relentless pressure to be strong, to perform, to always be on in our modern society. This external pressure can exacerbate an already sensitive system, pushing it into overdrive. Your self-concept, the story you tell yourself about who you are, might have become intertwined with this vigilant state. You might unconsciously believe that if you stop worrying, you'll become complacent, vulnerable, or even irresponsible. This isn't a moral failing. It's a deeply ingrained protective mechanism, a shadow psychology at play, where unconscious patterns dictate conscious behavior. Let's take a deep dive into the landscape of your inner world. Imagine your emotions not as chaotic forces, but as ocean currents, powerful and sometimes turbulent, but always moving, always carrying information. Your anxiety is one of these currents, a strong, deep flow that can feel overwhelming. But it's also a messenger, a signal from the depths of your being. It's telling you something about your environment, about your needs, about your boundaries. When you try to suppress it, to push it down, it's like trying to hold back the tide. It only builds pressure, eventually erupting in unexpected ways. The world often misinterprets this deeper emotional process, seeing only the surface ripples, not the profound currents beneath. Consider your mind as a vast, ancient landscape. There are sunlit meadows of joy and calm, but also dense, shadowy forests of fear and towering mountains of challenge. Your anxiety often resides in the watchtower overlooking these territories, constantly scanning for threats. It's a lonely post, and the sentinel can become exhausted, mistaking shadows for real dangers. The weight you feel, that heavy sensation in your chest or shoulders, is often the accumulated energy of unexpressed emotions, of unmet needs, of boundaries crossed. It's like carrying a backpack full of rocks, each one representing a moment you didn't speak your truth, a fear you didn't acknowledge, a wound you didn't tend to. This isn't a burden you chose. It's a burden your system took on to protect you. And what about the silence? The silence of avoidance, which can turn quiet time into a cage. You might retreat, seeking quiet, but find that the quiet simply amplifies the internal noise, the incessant chatter of your anxious thoughts. This isn't true peace. It's a temporary reprieve, a fortress built to keep the world out, but which ultimately traps you within its walls. Your self, your true self, is like a magnificent, multi-roomed house. Some rooms are brightly lit and frequently visited, while others, particularly those holding difficult emotions or past traumas, might be locked, their windows shuttered, their doors bolted. Anxiety often stands guard at these locked doors, believing it's protecting you from what lies within. But true healing, true integration, comes from gently, bravely, opening those doors, not to unleash chaos, but to bring light and understanding into every corner of your being. Now, let's shift our perspective entirely, because here lies the profound transformation. What if this perceived weakness, your sensitivity, your caution, your deep capacity for concern, is actually the source of your most profound strength? Your sensitivity, often seen as a liability in a harsh world, is in fact a superpower. It allows you to perceive nuances others miss, to feel empathy deeply, to understand complex emotional landscapes. It's not fragile glass, it's tempered glass, capable of incredible resilience and clarity, allowing you to see the world with a depth that others can only glimpse. This sensitivity is your clarity, your intuitive radar, guiding you with insights that logic alone cannot provide. Your tendency towards caution, often mistaken for fear, is actually a form of wisdom. It's a deep-seated intelligence that encourages careful consideration, foresight, and a thoughtful approach to life's challenges. It's not about avoiding life. It's about navigating it with a profound respect for its complexities. Your need for distance, for solitude, for space, is not aloofness. It's self-preservation, a vital act of setting boundaries to protect your energetic and emotional well-being. It's your system's way of saying, I need to recharge, to integrate, to reconnect with my core self before I can fully engage with the world. This isn't avoidance. It's wisdom in action, a deep understanding of your own capacity and limits. The path forward isn't about fixing your anxiety, as if it were a broken machine, It's about honesty and awareness. It's about turning towards this powerful internal messenger with curiosity rather than fear. It's about asking, "What are you trying to tell me?" instead of, "How can I make you go away?" This is the difficult but ultimately liberating act of self-reflection. It requires courage to sit with discomfort, to listen to the whispers of your body and mind, to acknowledge the parts of yourself you've been taught to hide or suppress. It's about recognizing that your anxiety, in its essence, is a part of your self-concept, a part of your identity that has been shaped by your journey. To heal, then, is not to erase it, but to integrate it, to understand its origins, and to gently re-educate your alarm system. This journey of understanding is about individuation, the process of becoming your authentic, whole self. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning, the expectations, the fears, to reveal the unique individual beneath. It's about recognizing that the world often misinterprets this deeper emotional process, seeing the struggle, but missing the profound growth that can emerge from it. Your anxiety, in this light, becomes a unique path back to your real self, a guidepost pointing towards what truly matters, what needs attention, what boundaries need to be set, and what parts of your story are still waiting to be heard. It's a call to greater self-awareness, a profound invitation to live more authentically. So, what have we learned? Your anxiety is not a flaw. It's a sophisticated, ancient alarm system, finely tuned by your past, seeking to protect you. It's a messenger, not an enemy. And its signals, though sometimes uncomfortable, are rich with vital information about your needs, your boundaries, and your deepest truths. The perceived weaknesses you've carried, your sensitivity, your caution, your need for space, are, in fact, profound strengths, offering clarity, wisdom, and self-preservation. Healing isn't about eradicating anxiety. It's about understanding it, integrating it, and transforming your relationship with it. It's about moving from a place of fear and resistance to one of curiosity and compassion. It's about accepting that your journey with anxiety is a unique path, leading you back to the most authentic version of yourself. This journey requires patience, kindness, and a willingness to look inward, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's a process of gentle inquiry, of self-compassion, and of slowly, bravely, unlocking those shuttered rooms within your inner house. Remember, you are not broken. You are complex, resilient, and capable of profound self-understanding. The world may not always understand your quiet struggles, but you now have the tools to understand yourself, to honor your internal landscape, and to reclaim your power. Take a moment, right now, to acknowledge the incredible strength it takes to simply exist with this level of internal vigilance. Be kind to yourself. Your anxiety has been working tirelessly to protect you. Now, it's time to gently teach it a new way, to guide it from a state of constant alarm to one of watchful wisdom. Embrace this journey, for it is a profound one, leading you to a deeper connection with your true, resilient self. Your healing is not about perfection. It's about authenticity, acceptance, and the courageous act of becoming more fully you. What small step can you take today to listen to your inner messenger with a little more compassion?